The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros. Dreyer Physical Therapy. Your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris. CBE. And Showtime Graphics.
Welcome into Week 10 of the Prattville Lions Football Review. I'm Will Barrett, visiting with Prattville Lions head football coach Caleb Ross, looking back on the week of victory, a 38-24 win over the Sidney Lanier Poets, and a sweep of the Montgomery Schools heading into the playoffs. Coach, that's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I was pleased that, man, you look at the course of the year, we beat the Montgomery Schools, we beat the two Elmore County schools, so I'd like to say, man, we're one of the better teams and probably the best, obviously, larger school team in the region. You know, the win Friday night, I was proud. It was senior night. We honored a large group of seniors that mean a lot to the program. And they've been obviously critical in bringing this program back to where it is right now. Very proud for that. I think we got a chance to get most of them in and play. You always want to do that. And we got a win. Now, the game itself, I mean, it's kind of like the last 2 weeks. Really, the Smiths game and the Lanier game, very similar. A lot of good stuff, a lot of really positive stuff. We had some guys play some really good football. Some stuff that, man, not so good, and then some stuff that's just ugly. You know what I mean? I'd be lying to you if I say it. Parts of it, man, a little frustrating moving into the playoffs. But the good news is all of it's stuff that we can fix. I mean, we allowed a block kick because our wings, you know, about a foot wider than normal, and just little detailed stuff that sometimes you got to have failure to expose it. And I think that was really helpful. We still getting some penalties at crucial times. Holding will bring back some plays, and man, we've given up some deep plays last 2 weeks on defense. Some shots downfield that we weren't early in the year. To be fair, you're playing against good teams. I mean, Lanier's got a good. They got good players. Number 15's a Division I receiver. I mean, he's a really good player, and the quarterback made some incredible throws. He's scrambling a couple times on night and throws the ball over a running shoulder and puts it right where it needs to be. So, I mean, everything that we can do, stuff that went wrong, is stuff that we can fix. But I thought there's a lot of highlights, and I know we'll talk about some individual stuff, here in a second. But it was good to get a win. I thought we played really good football in the first half. We were up 24-6, executed a really good 2-minute drive on the offense. Besides the one deep throw, I thought the defense, man, played really well. Really good stuff in the first half. And then you look at the second half and you think, well, man, did we lighten up? Did we relax? We probably did a little bit, and I'm kind of a little bit frustrated by that. But I really think, man, just times, like I said, we gave up a block kick. And that guy had been lined up too wide all night. So it wasn't like he relaxed that play. Right. And then they just we had fourth down and long, and their guy beat Trey on a vertical. I mean, end of the day, he's a really good player, and just ended up getting past us, which, those things are really unexcusable. And, disappointed they had a really good call on the 4th and 1. We had a guy open. Kyle didn't see him. So, man, those things, all of it we can fix. You wish you'd have played a little bit cleaner. We could play a little bit more guys. But end of the day, Lanier's a playoff team, and they've got good athletes. And, that game last year, we jumped up out on them, and they fought, come back. Credit to them. And we had to have a goal line stand to win. So, I'm proud of the win. A lot of things we can get better on, but I do think the win gives us momentum going into the playoffs.
It was a cold night, a really cold night, and the game that just seemed like it wouldn't end over 3 hours in playtime. The game ended just after 10 o'clock. It's going to be a cold night next Friday night, too, and I guess it's good, at least before the playoffs, to hit that cold snap to get a feel for playing in cold weather. Do you think that helped you?
It does, man. With being in Alabama, you don't ever get 72 to 64. You get 72 to 42. You know what I mean? It's like just what it is. Yep. So there was no transition. It was pretty chilly. And usually, man, even I don't feel it much. That second half, there's parts of that was really it's kind of chilly. But looking at the forecast of this Friday, it doesn't appear it's going to be as cold. It's going to be cooler, but it's not going to be as cold as it was this past Friday. Small chance of rain early in the day. Field probably going to be damp. We got to deal with that. But yeah, it's good there for our kids, because we all know if we're going to make a run in the playoffs, you're going to play in some cold weather. So it was good to go ahead and get that first night out of the way. It seems like you're a lot more prepared the second time, especially with the players. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Those cold, but to me, that's what playoff football is about.
That's right.
I mean, if it was hot, in November, then you're probably in Miami or Southern California or something like that. So to me, that's what you think of high school football. You think of playing in the playoffs. You think of cold weather. That's to me. I can think of all the championship teams I've been on. I can think about every game. Man, there was some really cold weather and some where as a coach you got to layer up on the side, and the players that probably got some sleeves on. But some of them big guys out there. I was watching them Friday night. Man, they're true dudes now. They didn't have no undershirts on, and man, they were. Once that thing gets cranked up and rolling, man, as a player, I remember those days. You don't feel it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Prattville winds up the regular season 8-2. An improvement over last year's 7-3 regular season, 8-2, a 38-24 win over Lanier Poets. And let's take a look at those in-game highlights right now.
Loading that shotgun up, he's got the snap, wants to pass. Looking downfield, now throwing short. It is caught and drilled out of bounds at the 22-yard line. It's a good snap. Riley from the 50 kicks this one away. And it's going to put the Poets deep as it takes a bounce inside the 10, down inside the 5, rolls dead at the 4-yard line. That's where the Poets will have to start. Jackson comes on a blitz. Marquarius Moore sacked in the end zone. Did he break out of the end zone?
Yeah,
he barely out of the end zone. Down from the back stripe of the end zone. And he does get it away, but Rogers is going to have a returnable punt here at the 40-yard line from there. He's on his feet to the middle field, 35, cutting to the outside, trying to get inside 30. Rogers 25 and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And here is Owsley to pass, throwing to the corner. He's got it complete to Powell in the end zone. Touchdown, Prattville. On a jet sweep they go and nothing doing. He is swamped again at the 15-yard line. Just blown up once again by that Prattville shotgun. Drops back to pass. Goes across the middle to Thompson. Complete. Great catch. Concentration by Taylor Thompson down inside the 20 to the spare. And Kidd gets the carry. Following that near side block. Dives for the pylon. Is he in the end zone? Touchdown. Touchdown, Prattville. Jaden Kidd from 3 yards out. And he's got it. Drops back to pass. Looking downfield. Steps out of pressure. But not all of it, as he is taken down by McQuiston behind the line of scrimmage back at the 37-yard line. 108-pound Caleb Daniel at nose guard. He gives it up to Jaden Kidd. Jaden Kidd's got room across the 50 into Lanier territory to the 45-yard line. More from the Poets' 47-yard line. Here's a give to Kidd again, going across to the left side. Kidd following blockers, puts his head down and gets another 10 yards inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Kramer shotgun, has the pass, has it looking downfield, wants the pass, now firing it to the corner. He's got to complete Thompson at the 15-yard line. Hops over a man inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line. Pulls it down and gives it to Powell up the middle. Powell into the end zone. Touchdown, Prattville from 5 yards out. Keandre Powell puts the lines up 20-6. High snap, pulled down. He's going to run with it. And Barry is out to the 10-yard line at 15. He's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And the Lions, with 12 seconds to play and the timeout to burn, it's from 27 yards from the far hash mark. Duke puts a foot into it, and this one on a line drive is through. And 6 they go. Here is a give to Kidd again, trying to get to the outside. Gets his edge and has a little room across 50. Kidd, open field 40. Kidd 35-30. Kidd 25-20, 15 and out of bounds right there. Great run by Jaden Kidd. Looks like Mason Taylor from the Wildcat takes the snap and angles for the end zone, and he goes in. Mason Taylor with a touchdown. Touchdown, Prattville from 1 yard out. And Marquarius Moore throws it out into the flats, completes it for a first down out to the 33-yard line. Ball comes loose, and who's recovered it? It's a hot potato out there.
Prattville got it, but I don't know if they're going to mark him.
But Fairhurst gets it up high enough that a punt will not be returned. And it takes a Prattville roll inside the 10-yard line down to the Lanier 7. Into the far side as well. And Kramer wants to pass. Throwing it to the end zone. Looking downfield. It is Spencer Roy. Does he pull it down? Touchdown, Prattville. Spencer Roy from the shotgun. Looking downfield. Steps out of pressure, but not all of it. He is taken down for a big sack at the 29-yard line. Claps in the shotgun. Looks downfield. Now he's going down again, another sack back at the 22-yard line, and that's going to be just about it. He loads it up, drops back, looks downfield, and big-time coverage sack. Ball comes loose, ball's rolling around on the ground, and it is all over but the shut-in now. Lions will take over at the Poets' 15-yard line with 45 seconds to play.
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Prattville Lions Football Review. We're going inside the Lions cage this week with Cord Hill, coach, one of the favorite guys on this team.
Yeah, I think every week we got a guy that we like, man. But I think if you had to pick one guy on the team that all the coaches like, and man, we enjoy being around, it's Cord Hill, man. I mean, he's just, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he plays incredibly hard on Friday night. Man, he's had a bunch of pancakes throughout the year, but just a guy that, man, I enjoy being around. He's just fun, man. He's like I said, the coaches love him, and I'm glad to see that the rest of the Prattville family can get a glimpse of his personality.
He's got a great personality. You're going to love him. Let's go inside the Lions cage with offensive lineman Cord Hill.
Cord Hill, offensive right guard, 2020. McDonald's.
Go-to order.
Number 9, 2 cheeseburgers, medium fried, sweet tea. Is the boxing? It was a boxing movie. Creed 2.
Creed, that's a good movie.
2. I'll say chill. I was listening to it Friday night and Kendrick got on to me. Will Smith.
Favorite movie by Will Smith?
The one when he had the little boy in the
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness, yes.
That's good. Good movie.
I call it Incredible Hook. Peace.
Where's your favorite pizza?
Papa John's. I say Miss Guanto. I had her last year, not for the same thing, but she just never gave up on me. She always helps me everything I need. I said Lil Boosie set it off. J.J. Watt. Gotta go with my left guard, Ethan Bitter.
You're not the first one to say that.
Y'all be good guys or bad guys?
We bad guys. Coach Ross.
Okay.
Every day. He stands like this and Ross started practice.
Everybody's got him down bad.
Food, water. Food, water. Can't be a person.
Yeah.
All right, Deshaun. I'll take Deshaun.
All right, Deshaun, fight somebody else.
It's one of the smallest, I say the best, smallest right guard come through Prattville. Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone in the stands yelling, hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4, tell me who you yelling for. Prattville, that's who.
Woo! Woo! You got it, dude. Good job.
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Final segment here of the Prattville Lions football review. Will Barrett visiting with head coach Caleb Ross, looking back at last week's 38-24 victory over the Poets of Sid Lanier. And coach, a lot of players got a lot of time Friday night. We saw Kyle Kramer do his thing on the field, but we also saw a glimpse of the future in number 5, E.J. Owsley, quarterback.
Yeah, E.J. Got the start Friday night. Thought he did really good, man. He was 4-5, was poised. He is the future. He's a really talented kid, really smart kid. Just understands at his age, a sophomore, understands the whole offense, the playbook. Man, he understands what we're trying to get done. Man, we're in good hands with that kid. He's going to be a really, really good player. Had a really good night. Kyle came in, played really well. He did. Had one of his better nights. His footwork was really good. Just did the little things well. Besides, really, the one I thought was not the best decision on the one interception, throw it in the end zone. Right. I thought Kyle played really well. So I was really pleased with that. I thought both running backs played well. I mean, I'm glad to see Jaden Kidd had some explosive runs.
Sure did.
He's got some speed. Got a little banged up in the second half. Nothing major. We're going to have him back on Monday. But I thought both running backs played well. Receiver, man, Taylor Thompson, 8 catches. He's starting to really get in his groove, and we need him to. If we're going to make a run of these playoffs, he's got to play his best football. He had a really good night. Spencer Roy, man, he's just another kid that's just a gritty, get after you type kid. Really hadn't had a lot of catches all year until the other night. I think he had 5 catches. Had a huge touchdown catch there at the end to really seal the game. It was a great throw by Kyle, great catch by Spencer. He's one of those just utility players. I mean, he does a little bit of everything, but he does all the grunt work and done a really good job of it. Really enjoy him. Kendrick had another solid night, couple catches. Had a nice return on the punt return. And Isaiah had a really big catch down near the goal line. So receivers played well. I was really proud of that. Really pleased with the offensive line. We still had a couple protection issues and got a couple critical holding calls. But overall, man, I thought we played really well. Missed 2 weeks in a row. Offensive lines played really well. Man, our coaches, Mitchell Thornton, Jess Smith, do a really good job, man, of really getting those guys ready to go. We were able to run the football at Lanier and run some more downhill gap stuff. I was really pleased with that. And Ethan Biddle continues to be a dominant player, man. He's just, man, he's fun to coach. And we talked about Cord Hill. Cord Hill gets after it. And, you know, I told you since we moved R.J. Meyer over, he's really, man, he just gets more comfortable each week of playing offensive line. You really don't look in about 4 weeks he's even played it. And you got Carter Barnes, who's a kid, I told you, I'm just as proud of a kid that, man's really hung in there, has been a starter, and he plays well on Friday night. Gets after it, man. Plays with some grit about him. Same thing with Carson Hughes. Obviously, Carson's not the biggest, but he's gonna fight you on Friday night and get after it. You know, got a few holding calls, and he plays on the edge. We got to pull him back a little bit, but man, I like a guy that gets after it. And then we play a lot of Javon Harris. Man, he's a sophomore that's going to be really good offensive lineman. He's got a lot of natural ability. And he's a guy that we rotate to all positions, can play all 5 positions. Really proud of that kid. So, you know, offensively, man, I thought we had a good night. Defensively, you take out just the glaring 2 deep balls, we really played pretty good football. They didn't have a first down until midway through the second quarter. They throw the long post, and really it's a really good route, good concept. And we had guys that were confused on who was going to jump the out, and they really took advantage of our coverage right there, and unfortunately we were wrong and they hit us. And like I said, number 15 is a really good player. So
no doubt.
Secondary was solid. Mason Taylor still had another big night, man. He continues to be the alpha dog, the leader on our defense. And I think he ended up having 8 or 9 tackles, something like that. But he had a tackle on kickoff. Just a really good high school football player. Just like I said, he's one of those guys. I'm glad we got him. Outside linebackers, Ian and Jackson, AP Coleman both had really good nights. They're playing at a high level. Really glad for AP Coleman. He's a guy that, man, got his opportunity with Tumpka game and really hadn't looked back. He's becoming the player that we thought he could be. Yeah. In this program. And then up front, man, Tim Trotter really had his best night in about 4 or 5 weeks. He really turned it on. He was dominant, man. He was really dominant. Played really well. Will McQuiston had a couple of big sacks the other night. Played really well. Man, I think he had 4 sacks last year against Lanier, and he had a couple the other night. So he played well. And then Brodarius Lewis, what he does in the middle, how he takes on centers, man. Yeah. Me being a former center, I don't look anymore, but many pounds ago, I would hate that to block that guy. Yeah. I mean, I would, man. He is. He's a beast. He is. He really is. And so he had another big night. So. The stat line, 24 points, which one of those touchdowns was a block kick. It doesn't look like you played really well defensively. You take away 2 long throws. Man, it was a really stellar night. So we're where we need to be. We just got to clean up a few things. Special teams, it's bad when it's really good. Let me rephrase that. It's good when you have a bad night on kickoffs, when only 3 of your, 6 kicks or 7 kicks go in the end zone, but 2 of them go down to the 1, and 2 of them go into the corner where we tackle the guy on the 18 and 19-yard line. So, and one of those, it was a squib right for the half. So, Colin Rogers, a weapon. I was really proud to see Elliott Duke, man, knock through a field goal. Had to hit it twice, but hit it, knocked it in, which was good. And then I thought Riley Fairhurst had a really good night, man. He did. He had some good punts, and he was able to pin them down deep on the first punt to really give us great field position. So, special teams, we got to get the block kick cleaned up. Man, that's just so uncharacteristic, man. We put a lot of time into it, put a lot of effort into it. We try to coach it with a lot of detail too. And to get a block kick, is really kind of unacceptable. But hey, it is what it is, and we got to go fix it now. And that, I know, it was really, that tight end wing combo right there. We'll work on it. We'll get it fixed. So. It was a good night, a lot of things to get fixed, some things that that didn't look so good, and I'm such a perfectionist. It's hard to ever please, I guess, anybody that's that way. But I'm glad that we won. I'm glad that we won going into the playoffs.
And now we close the book on the regular season, and we start the second season. We're 4 wins away from a state title, and the first win we got to get is this Friday night in Theodore.
Yeah, and you're playing a really good football team. There's somebody I'm very familiar with. My time at McGill, they were in our region. We played them every year. Man, I tell you this, they're very physical. Probably, I've had a couple coaches say, "Coach, we're the most physical team you'll play all year." So it's going to be a challenge. They run the ball really, really well. They got a couple of backs that really just run downhill, and they'd rather run over you than try to run around you. And they run. And they lull you to sleep, and they play action, and they throw it over the top. And they got some guys that can go run and get it. So Man, we got to be really alert. It's going to be physical. They like to run the football. Probably one of the best defenses we're going to see. Man, they're kind of what you, matter of fact, they remind you a lot of Region 2 type defenses. They're physical up front, linebackers that can run, and secondary guys that can run long at safety, very physical at safety. And they got a D1 football player in the Kennedy kid who's just, man, they put him at Wildcat running back, and he's probably the fastest kid on the field. I mean, you're talking about just freakish ability, 6'2", 6'3", 205, 210 pounds that can run a 4.4. I mean, good luck. Good, yeah, exactly. So we know we got a huge challenge, and they're also, we got to go travel to them. Anytime you go on the road, I don't know if you're at a disadvantage. We've played well, but it's a challenge, I'll say that. And they got a really unique setup, where to me, if I'm a Theodore Bobcat, you've got a good home field advantage. The field is, man, it's just a unique environment. It really is, in a good way for them, man. It's got a mystique about it. And so we got to go deal with that Friday night. But you know what? It should be really good high school football. And I think our kids will be ready for the challenge. Their kids will be ready for the challenge. That's one thing now. They play really hard, too. Mm-hmm. Give credit to Coach Collier and their staff, man. Those kids play really hard. So we know we got our hands full. We'll have a good game plan. They'll have a good game plan. Should be really good high school football. This team goes down to McGill last year in the first round of playoffs and has a narrow miss that ends the season. Do you think that helps this team taking pretty much the same route this year? That's right. And we're going to do kind of similar schedule. You know, we're going to go down on Thursday night like we did last year. I think that's better for our kids. And, you know, and this isn't the first trip we've had all year. You know, we've had to go play Foley, first game of the year. So we've been down that way. We've also taken 2 trips to, you know, Enterprise and Phoenix City. So our kids are used to traveling. We're used to being away from school and all that stuff. It does, like I said, it provides, there's challenges to it, but we've got experience. Last year's game, man, we were playing really good football and really had a chance to win that game. It really did. You know, obviously last year, but I think 1 year into this, hopefully we get in those moments, our kids will, you know, they'll perform. So, man, it's in 7A, and the thing is, you got 32 teams, so what you're going to get that first round in 7A is really like a second round game anywhere else. And me and Coach Collier were talking at the coaches meeting on Saturday morning. Our game's really like a second or third round game. Right. It really is. You got 2 8-2 football teams. And really, they could have been 9-1. Probably shouldn't have lost Friday night. And if the ball bounces our way a little bit different, maybe we're 9-1 against Auburn. So you really got 2 8-2 football teams, 2 of the better teams in the region, and you got to play each other in the first round. So hey, it is what it is. And you know, we got to go execute. We got to go play well if we want to expect to win. It is Prattville in round 1 on the road against the Theodore Bobcats. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Make sure, if you're able to, make the trip down to Mobile, support our Lions. Round 1 of the playoffs. Never been a better time to get out and support your Lions. All right, Coach? That's right. That's it. Come on down, man. It's be a great. I mean, to me, if you can't enjoy high school football, playoff high school football in the state of Alabama, and what else are you going to do on Friday night, man? Come on down there, support us. It'll be a great game. Absolutely. Our next broadcast will be Thursday from Buffalo Wild Wings, the Coach Caleb Ross Show. You'll be joining us via phone because you'll be already with the team in Mobile on Thursday night. That's right. We're going to plan on leaving out Thursday afternoon sometime, and I think we did this last year. So we're going to get on down there and stay the night. That gives us Friday to, you know, have more time to prepare, and we're not rushed or hassled by, you know, man, the backup on the interstate or, you know, I mean, something. It's just always something could go wrong. So go and get down there. It's just better that way. Our kids aren't on the bus all day. So yeah, come on down, man. We'll do the interview. We'll do the coach's show Thursday night. Hey, good chance. Mobile's got a lot of good food. I live down there, so cuisine's really good. Come on down, get you a good meal. Come to the game, support us. Go ahead and check out our work around noon and head on down to Mobile. It'll be a great experience. Well, that's all the time we have for the Prattville Lions Football Review. Coach Ross, we appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. I know you got a lot of work to do in preparation for next week, so we'll sign off. I'm Will Barrett saying good night, God bless, and go Lions.
The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros, Dreyer Physical Therapy, your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris, CBE, and Showtime Graphics.